All right, just to update, strange happening kind of stuff, normal everyday kind of things, nothing super weird and major. Um, Finished the book, like I've mentioned, I think in another video. The book is finished. I've got a proof on its way. The cover's done. Everything's done. It's bound. The proof is on its way for that book. I've reviewed it multiple times. This will be probably the eighth or ninth time I have gone through it and reviewed it myself. This time it'll be a not hardback, paperback bound proof copy I can go through. While reviewing this book all these multiple times, something started clicking. There's a description in there of me in that one fight I lost. I mentioned in some of the videos, and most of them I don't want to talk about it. In one video, I mentioned kind of what had happened a little bit in one video. Most of them I say I don't want to talk about it. But I describe it and what happened in the book. And the way my face looked after that, it started clicking in my head. It's like, that is the face that I saw in the video I put out here. I believe it was called Storytime Annihilation Avoided. It was about a dream that didn't seem like a dream. It felt very, very real to me. And I'll put a link below to that video. But that guard that came in last, that I was like eye level to its chest with, it was much taller than me. But I had a connection to that, some weird, very, very good connection to that older guard, this founding guard member, and his face looked like mine that had after that battle. And I thought that was funny. That was just weird coincidence there. And I didn't realize that until about the seventh review of my book and that description. About the seventh time it started clicking. It's like, wait a minute, there's something more there. It's almost like I'm a child of that old founding guard member, a piece of it maybe. And that's what started coming together. Then my Strange Happening #1 clicked in my head. Like, that's what it felt like in my Strange Happening #1 video, sitting in that classroom, just becoming aware of self. It's like I was there, but not aware of self, that I'm an actual being. And I was waking up, starting to wake up to self. And when that happened, it was time to move on to another stage of coming here to Earth, kind of thing. Kind of odd. But it's like I'm a piece of that. Maybe that's how they have children. I don't know. You know, we have children. That's a piece of the original parents that goes out, gets experiences, learns. Hopefully they can share them with the parents, you know, their experiences, and share their life with the parents as they move forward. And that's what it feels like with that old founding guard member from that one dream, that I'm a piece of it, learning, growing, experiencing, that kind of thing. So it's kind of odd, kind of weird for that. Even the other day, me and my wife were talking about, I've downloaded some albums from the song Weird Songs on the Radio that dealt with protectors and guardians. I've had videos about that. Songs on the Radio. I'll put a link to that one, Songs on the Radio. Put a link below back to that video. But Songs on the Radio, and the first song that came on was Protector Prepares, and the time on the clock for Protectors of Truth was 11:11, but Protector Prepares, I never checked that one out. I bought albums from some of the other songs that I heard, digital albums, but not that one. So my wife was like, why don't you get that one? You got all the others. I'm like, nah, I already got plenty of music, you know, more than I can listen to. So I'll see what the album title is. It was called Dark Guardian. I'm like, you're kidding. Because she was just talking about that. And we were just talking about, I don't really know what kind of guardian I'm. I'm a guardian. Maybe something to do with emerald color, because of this emerald color that went around me. And there's a thing about emerald tablets and emerald orders and all this. Maybe I'm some kind of guardian of emeralds or something. I don't know. You know, that kind of thing. And then there's that one, Dark Guardian. It's like, what does that mean? Dark Guardian of something? And then that started clicking. Because in my acknowledgments in the book, I acknowledge my friend Mona, who is a professional editor. And she edited the book for me also. And thank my parents and my wife and that kind of thing in acknowledgments. The very last line I put in the acknowledgments after my family part is like, I'm not hiding anymore. That is the last line I put in the book, was I'm not hiding anymore. And that's at the very beginning in the acknowledgments. I'm not hiding anymore. And then the very last thing in the book is I'm talking about what kind of guardian am I? And then there's that dark guardian. I'm a dark guardian of some type. And it kind of pulled everything together the whole thing in my mind. I'm seeing the beginning and the end coming together, beginning and end coming together like that. It's like when I think of, I mean, that was just hitting me today, finally, today after all this time, that dark isn't black, is not like that kind of dark or evil. Dark is, when I think of dark, and I think I've said this in a couple of videos. One video specifically, I said is a dark place, a dark place, and then I say not dark like most people think, but hidden. Dark is hidden in my mind, and that hidden in my brain. Dark isn't what you would think. Dark in my mind is hidden, secret. I'm like, but that's been my whole life, is staying hidden. And I had it right there in the acknowledgments at the beginning of the book. So reviewing it for, seventh time or so, it's like, there it is. It all just came pulled together. And I'm like, seriously? It's just like my videos. I put out videos and stuff, and then everything starts happening. It starts linking together, and it gets an explanation. And the same thing happened here with this book, the beginning and the end, coming together. Talking about the dark guardian, but dark isn't dark like most people think. Came back to the beginning of the book. Dark in my mind is hidden, and that's been my whole life, is staying hidden, keeping all this side of me secret, hidden. So I thought that's funny. That's just funny. Then it made me think of the song too, "The Protector Prepares," with this Dark Guardian, name of its album, and it's like, well, in the time on the clock right after that for Protectors of Truth was 11:11, and then my mentor talking about 11:11 on the clock is very important. He sent me a photo of himself yesterday. It's kind of funny. I replied back to him. Then I realized the time on the clock was 11:11. That happens constantly. And just a few minutes ago, me and my wife were talking. Be nice to, all this COVID stuff is kind of dying down. Well, really is, but people are just still whacked. But it's dying down. It's like, we're not to take a trip. We're not going to fly. I'm not going to fly with all this craziness. Crazy people out there. Look, he's talking. But drive. Maybe driving to the Painted Desert and staying out there for a little while. Just get somebody to watch our cats. Maybe a week or something like that. Just drive and go do that. Get away. Because we've had a lot going on here. We had COVID. And we dealt with our 90-year father-in-law becoming immobile. Pretty much an invalid, and then dying here in this room. So it's like, we really could use a break just to get out of town and just take a break. I'd like to go to the Painted Desert and stay. And she looked it up just a few minutes ago, and the distance is 1,111 miles from our house. So when she typed it in the app or whatever, Google or whatever it is, Maps, it said the distance was 11:11. It's like, yep, there it is again. There it is again. Always happens. Well, I don't know. My favorite catchphrase, I don't know. Still say that to this day. I don't know. I don't know. It's all still kind of funny the way things link like that. Anyway, for the Guardian things and me feeling like it's a child of that being and all that, and my mentor and I met again last night. We still meet, even though our mentorship was officially over in October. We still meet and talk and stuff like that, and like talking to him. But he specifically brought that up before I mentioned it. He brought it up first last night that this kind of thing happens. And I told him that's exactly what's been going on in my mind the last 2 weeks. Is what I've been picturing, and he brought it up first. So I didn't try to influence him on that, but he brought it up. It's like, yeah, that's part of it. Shoot, how to even talk about this? But there's these 3 founder races for some of these starseed groups I'm in. They talk about these 3 founder races. One of them has to do with an emerald color, and everything to do with that one branch of the 3 founder races, that one branch with the emerald color, everything along that line that they talk about and describe having to do with these races is everything that I've put in these videos. And I'm like, that is so freaky. That is so funny. It doesn't relate to the other 2, but that one line even has to do with cats, like us and all these cats and everything around us and all the time. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it here, but when each one of my mother had her children, my siblings, myself and my siblings, my 3 siblings, whenever we were born, my mother each gave us a totem animal, kind of a totem animal that would be like. So when we were born, she kind of gave us a totem animal. Mine was a cat. Black Panther specifically was my animal was a black panther. My brother, I think it's a frog. One of my sisters is a dolphin. Things like that. But mine was a black panther, and cat-like again. And it's like, that is so funny. It's just funny.